right, so welcome viewers, fans of FCA and Campobello Island for this Game 5 in the Senior Girls Single A Southwest Regionals. This is it. The winner will take the last seed in Southwest Regionals and the loser will be eliminated. So this is it, season on the line for these two squads. One will be very happy and one heartbroken by the end of it. But we just hope for a good game here in the David McMullen Gymnasium. We'll remind you that Game 6 is going on after this, scheduled to start at 6 p.m. And that game will be between the Harvey Lakers and the Southern Victoria Vikings. They're going to play to determine who will host Southwest Regionals. The loser of that game will be the 2 seed in Northeast. So, lots of good basketball here ahead of us for these next 2 games. These teams both won in this tournament. They both won last night. FCA defeating Graham Manan with a nice comeback victory, but falling to Harvey this morning. Campobello defeated John Caldwell in kind of a back and forth affair, and then they lost to Southern Vic just a few hours ago.
Yeah, their game with John Caldwell was pretty close. Their game with Southern Vic, by the end of it, definitely not. I was actually really surprised with how well they were doing towards the start. I did not expect them to be so close.
And here's Maya Jackson getting things started for Campobello. Marissa Calder, she's been their strongest ball handler so far, but that's poked away. It's Lauren Sturgeon now, number 2. She goes in for a layup that's no good. But looks like number 5, Claire McGuigan, has the ball. Gets it out to Sturgeon, who shoots for 3. That bounces out and will fall out of bounds. So both teams, well, no, FCA getting the chance there. Vikings had the ball poked away, but they'll have to be sharp with their passes here. Both teams, the 2 seeds in their respective division. Campobello finished 8-2 to be second in the South. FCA 7-3 to finish second in the West. Here's Jackson shooting a long 2, and that's no good. Rebound goes over her to Bella El Zayat, who corrals that, gets it over to Elaine McAloon. McAloon calling for some help. Got a bit of movement. Wigan down to Sturgeon, who drives in. Sturgeon puts it up, and that's no good. Sophie Mitchell will punch that out of bounds. So FCA still has it, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Definitely been driving most of the play here. As we've got McAloon looking to put the ball in. She does, but McGuigan's shot is interfered with. She's going to draw the foul here. Let's see who this foul is against. Looks like number 4. That is Marissa Calder's first now. She did get into a bit of foul trouble last night with 4 fouls against, that would have been John Caldwell.
Yeah, Campobello is actually definitely a pretty high fouling team.
Yeah, especially considering they only have 7 players.
It's not good for them if they end up getting fouled out.
Also not good for them, handing 2 points to the opposition, which is what they did just now. Claire McGuigan 2 for 2 from the line, so they'll have to watch out for that. As Calder keeps it just in bounds. Nice play on 1 foot from grade 12 student Marissa Calder, but now it's poked away by Lauren Sturgeon in grade 11. She goes up all alone for 2, and it's good. She's had a few of those layup tries and finally gets one. Mental mistake now as Searles puts the ball off a foot, pleads her case, but not having it, as Coach Sanders tries to keep her girls calm and focused. Bella El Zayat right back to McAloon. McAloon dribbling in a little bit, takes a mid-range shot. Nice work by Kenya to get the rebound, but that's stolen by the Vikings. Here's Maya Jackson. Jackson to Calder. Calder trying to get around Sturgeon, and she does. Mid-range shot goes up, but nothing there. Nice defense by Kenya and McGuigan. Here's McAloon now, grade 10 player for FCA. Gets it to Bella El Zayat, who's also in grade 10. No grade 12s on this team. Fairly young as Nikki Kenya, grade 9 player, scores as well. So FCA out to an early lead. Nice reversal there by Calder. Gets it over to Jackson. Jackson shoots, that falls short, and Kenya boxes out effectively. So Campobello still looking for their first points here as we're about 2 minutes in to the game. Officials making sure everything's set. We did not get their names, and big thanks to our officials tonight. Very important role here. It's always nice to see these officials giving back to the game as Eden Searles takes a three-point shot. That bounces out, but that's good for the Vikings if she can get going with her three-pointers. Here's Sturgeon, three-point threat herself, but elects to pass it in this time. Kegne a couple more points, and she's getting hot early.
Kegne is dangerous underneath of the net, not just with her shots, but also with her rebounds underneath even the opposing team's net.
Very effective at boxing out, both
Definitely.
on offense and on defense. Makes the smart play when she sees the ball rolling out. She's one to watch out for. Is Searles. There's our first, but certainly not the last three-point shot in this game. And Eden Searles had a great three-point game last night. Let's get those stats. I believe she had 4 three-point shots in a 30-point effort against John Caldwell to get here to the second round of the tournament today. If Campobello can get her going, they do have a chance at pulling back into this thing. Here's Kegne on the second attempt. That's no good. Pokes the rebound around. Maya Jackson comes away with it. And as we mentioned, this is do or die for these two teams, season on the line. So you're going to see these girls leave it all out there on the court. Searles calling for a bit of movement. Gets it inside to Jackson instead, all alone. As you hear the support from the crowd, must be some parents who made the trip from Campobello.
The two teams have the loudest crowds I've found. It's actually really nice to hear. We don't, especially from teams that travel from further away. I know FCA isn't that far away, but Campobello is.
Definitely, yeah. And we applaud all those parents who came out to the David McClellan Gymnasium to make the trip. Here's Searles now, driving in, and that's good for 2. So just like that, an 8-0 lead turns into a 7-8 slim lead. As Sturgeon looks to get her team a bit more breathing space. Sturgeon, McGuigan, and Kegne are scorers for FCA. On the Campobello side, it's been Jackson and Searles. Here's, I believe that was Jackson getting caught, but she gets the ball out to Calder. Calder looks underhand. No score, but she will draw the foul. All right, 2 shots, and number 2, Lauren Sturgeon, the guilty party. So, first foul of the evening for FCA. Let's see Calder's first attempt here. Goes up, that's no good, and big thanks to Kevin Sheffers-Roy at the console position, getting us those net cam angles. He, Ashton Little, and Tony Kramer were working hard between the games, to make sure that that net camera was in position. So big thanks to all their help behind the scenes. Tony Kramer working the camera today. Ashton Little is on the scoreboard, and Cecilia Pauli is here on the microphone. Ball stolen away here by Sturgeon. She takes a mid-range shot. That's no good, and Searles secures that as Campobello looks to get their counterattack going. Calder dumping it back to Bree Williams. Over to Jackson taking a long, I think that was a 3-point attempt.
A little too long, though. Not high enough. It just went underneath of the net, and good call there by Kegne for not even going for it.
Exactly. She's really good at kind of dredging that ball.
She's got a very good eye. I noticed the same thing also with McAloon last night. She's exceptional with noticing when something is going to go out of bounds or who it's went off of. It's a really dangerous move, and I don't think she ever got it wrong once. So
a lot of high basketball IQ plays here from a relatively young FCA squad. I imagine a lot of them have played the sport before at the middle school level, but encouraging to see if you're a fan of the Fredericton Christian Academy Eagles. Some of the folks in the gym certainly are. And here's Searles now, getting the ball. Her team needs a bit of a spark, as after that 7-0 run, they've allowed the next 4 points. Searles trying to get there, can't get there in time, so FCA will get the ball. So we got some substitutions. This is a little early for Coach Sanders and Mills. Typically, they've been kind of rolling with their starters for most of the first quarter.
Yeah.
We're smart.
I didn't see them do many substitutions even in their game against John Caldwell, which was a pretty close game. So
McAloon with a nice 3-point shot for FCA. So FCA diversifying their attack a little bit. Yeah, I know earlier in the tournament, Campobello leaning hard on the starters, but I think their two grade 9 players, Shylin Smart and Maddie Cosman, have both earned the minutes as Calder gets another 2 points there for the Vikings. They played really well coming off the bench in both games so far, as Searles reaching over and McGuigan a little surprised that didn't come sooner, but it was coming. That was definitely a foul reaching around by Eden Searles, wearing number 12 in green and white. There's been a timeout called here. Not sure which team called that. Let's wait for the... Oh no, I don't think the officials are going to make that call. I want to say it was Campobello.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it may come into play later. It may not. Both teams get the time regardless. So.
Yeah, either way, it's kind of it's a good opportunity for both teams, because though the score is in favor of FCA right now, it's only 15 to 10 rather than something a lot higher. So
yeah, game definitely still within reach, and as we mentioned, FCA with their comeback win last night against Grand Manan.
Definitely, yeah.
They ended the first quarter down 7, but came back. They kind of stuck with Grand Manan for most of that, and I think it wasn't until was it the second half where they started to take the lead?
Yeah, they it was a really incredible pickup. It was definitely towards... I think they were they were winning at the end of
the third.
Yeah. Just barely were able to scrape by 56-51, I think.
Yeah, that was the final score. And,
that is...
of course, you can check out that game as well as all of the games from the Southwest Single A Regionals on our YouTube channel. There have been some great games this tournament, so definitely recommend you check some of those out if you missed them. First shot from McGuigan is good. She's a perfect 3 for 3 from the line so far. I think she went to the line that often. It looks like she was 2 for 2 last night, so yeah. Someone who may get a lot of practice at that line. As here's Calder, we got a full press here. Has to get by McAloon. She does, but she's double teamed. Still has the ball now. What a drive by Marissa Calder. Rebound poked out to her teammate. Campobello still has it. Here's Calder again, getting close, and it's good. Really great work by grade 12 student Marissa Calder. We were a little worried she did miss a bit of time during game 4 with what looked to be a knee or an ankle injury, but she seems to be doing okay now. Campobello will need her at full strength if they want to advance to the Southwest Sectionals. Here's Calder again driving through, opts to dump it out this time to Jackson. Jackson with a long 2-point shot attempt, that falls short. And here's McGuigan. Don't know that McAloon was expecting that, so pass will go out of bounds. Lauren Sturgeon will check back into the game. Coach Moses Perez does not shy away from rolling through his bench, although you imagine this game with all the marbles on the line, it could be a season ender. He may stick with his starters a little more than usual. And putting it in will be number 1, Alyssa Hansen. Gets it over to McAloon. In the corner to Dobson, back to Hansen. Sturgeon right beside the paint. And Lauren Sturgeon, now your leading scorer for both teams, 6 points so far here in the first quarter. Calder looks to respond, but it will not go. FCA takes over. McAloon dumping out to El Zayat. McAloon now. Gets some space. Hansen misfires, and Jackson gets hands in there. That's a jump ball. Support from both sides of this crowd, as well as both benches. Good tenacious play from both teams. It'll be Hansen putting the ball in. Looking around, not a ton of movement, but Lauren Sturgeon eventually comes to help. Sturgeon driving in now, and she puts up 2 more. Effective player in and around the key area. She's got 8 points already. Here's Jackson. And that's poked out by McAloon. So the Campobello Vikings maintain possession. And they still do, as this time it's El Zayat poking the ball out. But they are eating up valuable seconds off the shot clock. As Abigail McFarland, grade 9 student, checks into the game. Going to give McAloon a breather. And here's Searles now. Over to Calder. Calder to Jackson. Back to Mitchell, but it's stolen by El Zayat. Nice steal. El Zayat goes up. She will not score, but she does draw the foul. Fourth foul on Campobello. I think I must have missed one earlier.
Yeah, I think I did too, actually.
I don't have that right now. Yes, we might find it eventually when we count up the number of fouls that players.
It'd be pretty easy to figure that one out with
Yeah.
as short of a bench as they have.
Exactly.
I expect it may have been Bree Williams, maybe. She is a pretty high. She has a lot of fouls in most
She
of
is
the
sitting
games
on
we
the bench
play.
right now, so she may have come off after.
Yeah.
El Zayat, a perfect 2 for 2 from the line as Maddie Cosman's going to check into the game.
We haven't seen Elze out with a ton of points. I'm actually not
Which
sure
is
that she scored
surprising.
any points at all, but she is like a really good player.
She has. She's been a good distributor, good ball mover. So nice to see that finally show up on the score sheet. Yes, as you mentioned, don't let those stats fool you. She has been an effective
Yeah,
player for
definitely.
FCA.
FCA has a lot of super high scoring players, but all in all, they're a really experienced team for such a young
Yeah,
team.
considering they're so young.
Yeah, there's the majority of their players actually that they play super often are in grade 9. Mikaloon's actually only in grade 10. Oldest that they play really consistently is in grade 11. That would be Sturgeon. And they only have a few grade 11 players, no grade 12 players
no grade
whatsoever.
12s at all, a few grade 11s. So this will be a team that will be competing in the Western Division for years to come, I'm sure.
I'm excited to see that too, as well. So
Here's Calder, grade 12 player, the only grade 12 player on the roster for either team, I guess. As Searles in grade 11, hanging on to the ball, lets to drive in, looks to go over an FCA player, but she is called for the travel there. This looks like coaches McAloon and Pear has gone over a few things. Looks like McAloon was kind of giving Perez a bit of a lesson or kind of getting into position. Shot from Abigail McFarland falls short, but FCA still has it. Here's Lauren Sturgeon. Long 2-point attempt. It's no good, and Shylin Smart has the rebound for the Islanders. Here's Calder. Looking to spin around the defense. Double teamed. Shylin Smart getting her some space. Gets it over to Jackson. Back to Calder now. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Over to Searles. Searles with a stutter step and drives in for a mid-range attempt. Gets her own rebound. And is good on the second attempt.
we're definitely seeing Searles shine a lot more in this game already than her last game, where she didn't have as high of a scoring game as she usually does.
Quieter, uncharacteristically,
Yeah.
at least as far as we've seen. It's the fourth game that we've seen Campobello play in this gym, and she's been a factor in game 1 and game 2. Not quite as much in game 3, but we're seeing her a bit more now.
A really impressive player. Calder, Jackson, and Searles, all really impressive players. I saw Cosman last game. She was really good towards the end of the game when she was put in. Shylin Smart as well. Both grade 9 players. Bree Williams, good underneath of the net.
So
Mitchell.
had a few good three-pointers,
Yeah.
long shots, but it is those top 3 driving the bus for the Islanders, or driving the ferry maybe. Shot from McAloon goes over the net, and it's Maya Jackson who has it, bringing the ball up. Jackson looking around, trying to get some space. Nowhere to go. Nice defense from McFarland staying with her. Now we got a jump ball. So really good work by Abigail McFarland, sealing off the sideline there. Jackson's a good ball handler, but just couldn't get through. 14 seconds on the shot clock now. Calder, top of the circle. She goes around, finds Searles rather. As Searles will shoot, and she's good for 2. Goes over her opponent, and buzzer beater attempt from McAloon will fall short. So there, after 1, Campobello by 6, 16-22. Not out of reach by any means.
No, not at all.
And take a moment to shout out some folks working to make the stream and the game happen. Big thanks to our 2 officials. We did not get their name, but they are doing well. And thanks as well to Ali Sirwa, Holly Henry, and Violet McDonald at the minor officiating booth. Big thanks as well to our corporate sponsors, Scott Pierce at Remax East Coast Elite Realty and the Little Village Vacation Resort for Dogs. Our sponsors help us purchase equipment like all those cords, stands, cameras, and whatnot, where we can get that net camera angle. So they are improving the broadcast, and you're seeing the results here as we speak. So a big thanks to them for that support. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, we'd love to have you. Check out the contact information in the video description. And big thanks to Kevin Sheffers-Roy and Tony Kramer for putting together some of these graphics. You see the Senior Girls Regionals bracket. Right now we are in the non-winner side. These 2 teams facing off for the 3rd seed in the Southwest Sectionals. The non-winning team will be eliminated. Later today at 6, we will have the final game in this tournament, and that should be a great one. Rematch of the final last year in Harbor Station. It'll be the Southern Victoria High School Vikings from Perth Andover taking on the Harvey Lakers, the hometown heroes. All right, both teams coming back, and coming out of the quarter time break, Coach Sanders and Mills of the Vikings are sticking with their 5 they had, which means rookie grade 9 player Shylin Smart and Maddie Cosman still out there. For the Eagles, it'll be El Zayat, Sturgeon, McFarlane, McAloon, and Claire McGuigan. As Campobello stifles the Eagles' attack, they look to score first now. Here's Calder, looking around for Jackson. Back to Calder. Calder dribbling, looking for some help. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it to Searles for a 3. And that goes up. It's no good. Sturgeon has that rebound. And now here comes Sturgeon with some speed, evading the defenders. Now she's going to slow things down. Cosman staying with her all the way. Good defense, but we got a whistle, and McFarlane must have had a heel out of bounds, as the Eagles will turn it over. So still, both teams still looking for their first points of the second quarter. Here's Calder, looking to spin around. Bit of 4-on-4 action, as McAloon, also wearing number 4, staying with her. But here's Calder with a clean 3-point look. And that's good. Vikings pull to within 1, 19-22. As here's McGuigan looking to respond, and Searles guilty of a foul there. No delay this time, as Eden Searles committing that foul. Let's see what goes up on the board. Should be the second. Yep. Still have that one mystery foul. We don't know.
Not sure who that one is.
Yeah. Well, we know it's not Searles now.
No, not at all.
Process of elimination.
And that's good for her team as well, because she is one of their star players.
You would not want to lose her to fouls, that's for sure.
The same thing I would say for Marissa Calder, who does tend to get a lot of fouls.
She got close. She was at 4 at last night's game when Campobello defeated John Caldwell. Second shot up and good from McGuigan, so she's a perfect 4 for 4 from the line so far. FCA a perfect 6 for 6. Actually, that's, if you do the math, that has been the difference in this ball game. And sorry, I may be mistaken actually. I might have miscounted, because they were at 22 and they're now only at 23. So yeah, she must have missed one there. I must have had one checked off. Sorry. At any rate, still pretty good is McGuigan from the line. His ball rolls out of bounds. Campobello will maintain it. And thank you very much, Cecilia. She is 4 for 6, so I must have forgotten to write the miss from the last time.
Yeah, I do believe she's been up to the line a few times now.
She has.
I might have miscounted, or I might have given that to someone, but I'm pretty sure it's only been her up to the line.
I think you're
other
right.
Than El Zayat.
Yeah, then El Zayat for 2. Searles moving around, got a decent shot off, but Sturgeon was right there, and here's Sturgeon. The whole Eagles flying through the zone. That's no good. Couple of girls go down. And now they have numbers, but Eagles hustling back. Here's Searles all alone under the net, and that's good for 2. Taking advantage of that confusion. Couple of Eagles slipped under the net. Not sure if that was wet. There was a bit of contact, but either way, and now all alone waltzing in is Claire McGuigan, grade 9 player. And she's already got 8 points. That will make her the leading scorer for the Eagles. Searles trying to respond. And I'm fairly sure, yes, she will draw a foul here. Let's see who it's against. That looks to be Lauren Sturgeon, so one of the veteran leaders of this FCA Eagles squad. Second foul here as we get going in the second quarter. Searles goes to the line now. So we'll get that net camera angle. First shot is up and good. Beautiful shot. Second one now. McGuigan and Kenye ready to box out, but it's not necessary. So Searles goes 2 for 2. That should put Campobello at 3 for 4 from the line so far in this game. Here's Kenye from the side, but Searles called for a foul, and she's having trouble believing it. That is her third foul, which dangerous territory now.
Not good, and she's not even a player that you'd really want to swap off at this point in the game when you're losing.
You'd ideally keep her all the way on. And
exactly.
Checking in with the referee now, which you like to see. Just getting some clarification as to why the call was made. There was a nod, a smile, so I think we're all on the same page now, which is good. Searles and Smart getting ready to box out for Kenye's second shot. Second shot will bounce out as well, but she gets her own rebound. FCA maintaining possession. Here's McAloon around the edge. El Zayat bouncing into Claire McGuigan. McGuigan trying to get around the defender, and this time the block is clean, and Campobello takes over. Very close game as they were down by 6 to start the quarter. They fought back well. Searles has been a big part of that. Maddie Cosman over to Calder for the lead, and that bounces out. Kenye on the rebound. That's punched out of bounds, and Searles was the last to touch it. So the Eagles take over. Setting up in a bit of a zone defense here. Looking inside for McGuigan. She's got a few players on her, but gets it out to El Zayat. Ball poked away, and here's Jackson. She's going to slow things down. Could have gone for a fast break, but didn't have full control, so elected to maintain possession. But now she's alone. She goes up, and I believe that's going to be Claire McGuigan committing her first foul. So this will send Maya Jackson to the line for the first time. Jackson had a great game when the Campobello Vikings visited the Harvey Lakers in the regular season. Hasn't really kind of shone to the same extent in either of these two games.
No, she hasn't been able to pick up her pace much.
This would be the time, though. Season on the line. As first shot bounces out. Here's a second shot. And that is good. So 1 for 2 from the line as Maya Jackson pulls her team to within 1. Great third place game here in the Southwest Girls Regionals. El Zayat with the long high shot. That's no good. And now here's Campobello with the counter. Searles at the top of the circle. Not somewhere she usually stands, but she shoots for 3. And Campobello has the lead now. Great second quarter for the Vikings. Ball over the net. Calder secures that. And now she's going to try to bring it past El Zayat. She does. Countered over to Jackson. Now it's Searles from far out. Elects to pass it over to Calder. Both Searles and Calder successful three-point shooters. Got to respect them from a distance. But now Searles drives in. That's no good, but Shylin Smart has the rebound. The grade 9 player rewarding her coach's faith. You love to see it as she extends this lead. Here's Kegney. She's got to respond, but that ball goes out of bounds. And momentum has firmly swung over to the second seed from the south, the Campobello Island Consolidated School Vikings.
I believe this is a game that you're going to see go back and forth a little bit with the score. I don't think there's really going to be a point where either team is leading by a whole lot before the other catches up.
Two teams fairly evenly matched, and especially now that both have kind of gotten going.
Yeah. Campobello's slow to start, but they always pick it up within the second quarter of each half.
Here's Searles again, and that shot bounces out. Another three-point attempt. And McAloon handling the ball down, trying to get around Jackson. She gets it to Kegney just outside the paint. Over to El Zayat for a three-point attempt. El Zayat's shot will bounce out. Jackson almost had it, but Kegney able to get that misplayed ball. Great work by Nikki Kegney, not giving up on that. Looked like Jackson had it, but Kegney was right there to secure it when it popped out. Calder over to Searles. Searles has to get by El Zayat. Gets it over to Calder. Calder turns and shoots. That bounces up and into the hands of Riley Dobson. Dobson over to McAloon. McAloon with the pass across, and no blue jersey can get there in time. As things kind of calm down a bit now, we're going to get a few substitutions. Lauren Sturgeon and Claire McGuigan checking back into the game. Dobson and Kegney grabbing a break. And here comes Calder. Calder driving through, but caught between a couple players. We'll see who that foul goes against. Number 11's first, El Zayat. Yeah, I don't have her down for one yet, so excuse me, I think that makes sense. Here's Shylin Smart. Over to Jackson. Jackson to Calder now. Dribbling around. Tries to get in, and she gets into the paint, but the shot goes nowhere. Right in the hands of a defender. Now it's a 2-on-1. Sturgeon goes up all alone, and she's good. Lauren Sturgeon making an impact right off the bat in her return to the court. And now we're double teaming the defender. Calder trying to get by. She goes down hard, and we got a foul now. Could be, I believe it is against Lauren Sturgeon as she's explaining to the ref. And we're going to get a substitution. Sturgeon's third foul. Not sure if she's going off. No, it's El Zayat as Dobson checks back into the game. But yeah, those are two key players with 3 fouls apiece. Eden Searles for the Vikings and Lauren Sturgeon for the Eagles, as Sturgeon will indeed go off. Looks like Abigail McFarland's taking her place.
Luckily, for FCA, they definitely have a lot more players than Sturgeon. They have players like McAloon, who hasn't gotten many points this game, but in her last few games, she's been able to get like 15 points-ish. So they still have her, but for Campobello, it's really risky, especially since they are such an aggressive team.
It certainly can be. It's a nice shot there from Alyssa Hansen. Turning and shooting, so getting a bit of production from the benches. They go hard. Calder into McGuigan. McGuigan really wanted that call. Didn't get it. As Searles now putting up a couple points, and some of these Eagles getting a little frustrated. We'll see how this translates into the on-court play. As these two teams going at it fairly intensely. We're all tied up here with 3:13 left to play in the second quarter. McFarland heads to the bench. Didn't catch who. I think El Zayat. She's back on the court now. As Jackson over to Searles, who evades the defender. Back over to Jackson, playing give and go. And now it's Calder, top of the circle. Looking around, spinning in. Can't quite penetrate the defense, and think she's going to get called for a travel here. No. There's a foul. That's number 1, Alyssa Hansen. Holding call. As 2 shots now for Calder. She's 1 for 2 from the line so far. And let's see this from our net cam angle. First shot will bounce out. And second shot now as Eagles get in position. It'll be Hansen and McGuigan trying to box out. Second shot up, that rolls around and McGuigan has it. Gets it over to Dobson to start the attack for the Eagles, and over and back. Mental mistake there. And that's a tough break. As we realize that Campobello has been put into bonus with a significant amount of time left to play. There's 5 fouls at least for the Eagles. As Searles back to Calder. Back to Searles now. Swung out to Jackson. Jackson looking around. Gets it to Calder, who drives in, and that'll reset the shot clock though. Smart turning and shooting. That's no good, and this time the Eagles have the rebound all wrapped up. Here's El Zayat. Got to beat a couple. Elects to pass it out to Dobson. McAloon around. McGuigan in the corner, and that's stolen away by Maya Jackson. Here's Maya Jackson with speed up the right flank. Check that. To Searles. Back to Jackson for 3. That falls short. But rebound punched away to Maddie Cosman, who takes the second attempt. That's no good. And here's El Zayat. El Zayat, nice step around the defender. Got a good look as the Eagles hang on to the ball. 3-point attempt from McGuigan. It's no good, but she's going to get fouled maybe after the shot went. I think that's got to be against Searles, just based on who he's talking to. And that's real bad news for fans of the Vikings.
That is
4
not
fouls
good,
in the first quarter for Eden Searles.
It's even bad to have, I feel, to have even 3 fouls at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, and this is, we still got a decent amount of time in the second, so looks like Bree Williams is getting ready to check back into this game. First shot from, I believe it's McAloon? Yep, falls out. She will get 3, rather. So first shot out, second shot good. And now the last shot. Searles and Smart getting ready to box out. Hansen and McGuigan will contest it. Oh, shot goes up, and yeah, I think, oh no, I guess we're just getting the substitution, but Searles definitely had that lean, and we saw that happen a little bit last night where
I think
her momentum just takes her in.
She did that like 3 times, and by the end of the game, she just started joking around, pretending to do it.
Yeah, kind of a joke. As Jackson has the ball here. Back out to Marissa Calder. Calder dribbling around, looking inside for Williams. Williams distributing back to Jackson, who will shoot. Ball goes over them, but Shylin Smart has it, gets it out to Calder. Shoots for 3, it's no good. And Kegney will secure that rebound. McAloon leading the counterattack for the Eagles. After a bit of a scare, they've regained a lead, but it's a slim margin. 2 points, they need some breathing room. Kegney goes up, but she's fouled now, and we'll see if that's on number 4 or 14. It's going to be the first against Bree Williams, so it's not her with that mystery foul. Still trying to track that down. Yeah. Well, it wasn't Searles, it's not Williams. Leaves 5 players. We'll figure it out eventually.
We'll see.
Yep.
Now that Searles is on the bench, we shouldn't see, hopefully, any more from her, so.
Yeah, not in this quarter. I expect we'll still see her out in the third, though. As Kegney's second shot goes in, she's 1 for 3, and El Zayat knocks that out of bounds. Eagles really turning up the heat on defense here as one of their strong ball handlers, Searles, sitting on the bench. Williams has to pass it in, but it's stolen. El Zayat has it, gets it over to Dobson. She runs into Marissa Calder, bounces away, losing the ball. Maddie Cosman gets it over to Calder now, and Calder spinning, evading, puts up 2. Nice walk in by Calder, and she's up to 10 points as the Vikings pull to within 1. McGuigan, nice extension to secure that ball, pops up to Kegney. Kegney with the shot, that goes over the net, and they still have it as Vikings will get the counterattack here. Here's Calder over to Jackson. Back to Calder. Calder's going to shoot 3 here, and that almost goes. Just a touch to the left as here comes McGuigan. Calder's going to stand her up, and she does. Dobson on the rebound, though, so still have it. Here's McAloon from mid-range. Good second attempt from the grade 10 student. McAloon wearing number 4 in the blue jersey. Calder to Cosman. Back to Calder. Jackson back to Calder now. Definitely the most confident ball handler in this group, and that pass picked off. It's a 2-on-1. Here's McAloon trying to get by, and we got a foul here. I believe that's going to be called against Marissa Calder. So let's see if it's her. If she had that mystery foul, this will be her third. Otherwise, just her second. Let's wait for this to go on the board. Just her second,
Yeah.
so it wasn't her either.
Huh. I don't know who it would be then. Maybe
List
Maya
of
Jackson?
Suspects, yeah.
Or
I
it
think
could be
so, 'cause
Smart, maybe.
it could be. I'm trying to remember who was on the court at the time. I don't think Cosman had checked into the game yet.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think it would be Mitchell either. She doesn't tend to get a lot of fouls.
She's not in those situations necessarily, but who knows? We may find out. As Shylin Smart gets that rebound finally, and nice work by Kegnig disrupting at the end of the quarter. So both teams committing significant fouls. We got to watch some key players, but right now it is Vikings 33, Eagles 37. As we'll have a look at the graphics. And we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll try to get you a score update for the senior boys single A regionals, where we might have some listeners interested. The FCA senior boys are taking on the Harvey Lakers senior boys. The winner of that will be the 3 seed in the boys Southwest regional. So we'll go look that score up and get back to you in about 8 minutes. All right, and welcome back to Game 5 of the Senior Girls Single A Southwest Regionals. This is it. All the marbles, as the winner here will clinch the last seed and the third place seed in the Southwest Sectionals next weekend. The loser will be eliminated. And we know we have some fans from FCA tuning in. They may be interested to hear the score of the boys' game. Right now we can tell you the score between the FCA Eagles and the Lakers up in Perth, John Caldwell's in Grand Falls, is 29-27. We're not 100% who's ahead. I think it is FCA considered the home region, but we'll try to keep an eye on the live stream and see who scores and how that score changes. Big thanks to our sponsors as well, Scott Pierce at Remax, East Coast Elite Realty, and the Little Vacation Resort for Dogs, helping us to improve the stream with all the updated equipment, as you see the net cameras and different angles and whatnot. As early on we got a whistle here. Let's see what this call is. Not a foul going on. There's a bit of confusion, but referees talking as we're figuring out what goes on. But at any rate, it will be the Vikings with the ball. Bree Williams putting the ball in, and Eden Searles with 4 fouls. She's still on the bench right now. So she's one of the most important weapons. She is the leading scorer for both teams right now with 18 points. Interesting to see how coaches Julie Sanders and Jeremy Mills are going to use her. Here's Calder shooting for 3, and that goes out of bounds.
I couldn't tell you honestly what they should do at this point with Searles, because you either play her now and get a lot of points now, but potentially lose her later on, or you don't play her at all and she might not have gotten fouled out. So it's really risky.
You never know, right? You do want her in reserve, but you're not sure. And I think the FCA Eagles have just pulled ahead of the Lakers 31-29 in the boys' game. Again, we'll try to give you periodic updates on that as well, as we hope you have some Laker faithful tuning in, but definitely some fans of FCA. So big thanks to everyone tuning in, all those spectators, we appreciate it. Here's Bree Williams with a mid-range shot, and that goes into the hands of Kegne and travel. And she doesn't usually get called on those. That's a tough break. Usually pretty sure when she gets the ball on the rebound, I basically just assume it's going to FCA. So.
Exactly, yeah. No, she's usually she's a very skilled player. She knows exactly what she needs to do. That little trip up there, though, is detrimental.
And one last confirmation, it is indeed FCA ahead 31-29 against the Harvey Lakers in the boys Single A Southwest Regionals. Here's El Zayat getting it over to McGuigan. McGuigan shooting, and that is blocked. We'll see if it's a foul, though. It is indeed. And looks like that may be the third one going against Marissa Calder. Although it says only the second on the board, but she already did get 2. So I think it is her third. I'm going to go ahead.
It does say the second for Bree Williams.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you for correcting me. It is hard sometimes for us to read
the scoreboard. It's very difficult.
We got that net in the way.
Kind of have to duck down, yeah.
Yeah, that is a good call, because otherwise I would have been real worried about Calder.
I would be too, yeah. If Calder already has 2 fouls herself, and with Searles having 4, I kind of would be game over, I feel. Yeah, not that the players on... Not that Campo doesn't have other strong players other than them, but that would be their only 2 subs.
They are the 2 main ball handlers, and then you're down to just 5 players, and that's a dangerous position to be in. Here's Jackson over to Calder. Calder driving in, she shoots, and that goes out of the outstretched hands of Cosman. Calder coming back to get it, but nothing going now as Eagles take over. Score is 38-34 as that 3-point attempt from Sturgeon goes out. Sturgeon and Calder fighting for it, and it's a jump ball by the looks of it. I think they'll give that over to the Eagles. Yep, Eagles here in the offensive zone. 15 seconds on the shot clock. McAloon looks to put it in. She finds McGuigan coming in. And there's 2 more from McGuigan. 6 points from the line as well as 6 more points from the court. Great game for the grade 9 player. Here's Jackson. She's really stuck at the line but gets it around to Cosman. Really had to stretch it out. And Jackson now avoiding the steal. She shoots a 3. That's no good. Kengne on the rebound. But that pass right into the legs of Calder. Dangerous play. And now there's a foul called. It's against Blue. And looks like that's going against number 15. Good thing we wait for the call. That's Nikki Kengne's first. Here's Williams. Gets it out to Calder, who shoots a quick 3. That bounces out into the hands of Lauren Sturgeon. Now she coming up with speed. Has to beat Calder. She does, but reaching in, and this time it will be the 3rd foul for Marissa Calder. Only grade 12 player for either side.
Really surprising, actually. I would have expected the FCA would have some grade 12 players.
Yeah.
They are not a small school, so.
No, and I'm not sure what the deal is there. Like, I don't really remember them playing the Lakers last year, and they would have been so close. It may be a new team.
Potentially, yeah. No, I don't remember seeing them either, but it could be a little foggy.
Yeah, I do believe some of these coaches are the same coaches as for the boys team, or have been in the past anyways, so it might be a situation where they didn't have enough coaches and so now they do, so they're able to offer 2 full teams.
Yeah, potentially, because I think I might remember the boys team for FCA, but I don't remember a girls team.
We definitely saw them a lot last year against our senior boys, but the girls not so much. As here comes Calder with speed, but that's stolen away by Sturgeon. Sturgeon still has it, and Bree Williams reaching in there. She's going to get called on that foul, and just like that, 3 fouls for Bree Williams and 3 fouls for the Vikings here in the third quarter rather. And we're only about 7:23 into it. So not a place you want to be. Over to McGuigan, who turns and shoots. That bounces out. And Jackson has it with a couple of girls on her. That'll be a jump ball. Alyssa Hansen reaching in there to contest it. It will go to the Vikings, though. Shylin Smart's going to start this off. Gets it over to Calder, who has to reverse around and finds Jackson. Jackson got a couple girls on her again, but Calder comes for some support. Calder trying to get by Sturgeon and El Zayat. She does. Can't get a shot off. And must have been off the defender as Campobello will maintain possession. They came storming back in the second quarter, but they're really slow to start here in the third.
Yeah, that is what I find after every half. The first quarter of every half, I find that they're quite slow when they start. They kind of pick things up in the second, but that was kind of the issue in their game against Southern Victoria, because they were able to pick it up, but it was past the point of no return, basically.
Yeah. And it's too bad as Eagles really starting to lay on it now, as that 3-point shot from Lauren Sturgeon was successful. And I think Coach Sanders is calling a timeout here, getting her girls to hustle back. And yeah, it will indeed be timeout Campobello. So we'll give you an update. The Lakers fans will be happy to hear this. The senior boys have pulled ahead 36-31 with 5:45 left to play in the third. That is the other SouthWest Sectionals, the boys' side in Single A, happening up in Grand Falls right now. Same stakes as this. It's a trip to Sectionals on the line. The end of the season is nigh for one of those 2 teams, either the FCA Eagles or the Harvey Lakers, and same thing here with either the Campobello Vikings or the FCA Eagles, seeing their season will end soon. So big thanks to our minor officials as well down there. We've got Ali Sirwa at the scoreboard, Violet McDonald on the 24-second shot clock, and Holly Henry, who was working the score sheet, has gone to the change room to get ready for her 6 p.m. game against Southern Victoria. Ella Durrett, one of the grade 8 players, has replaced her at that score sheet. So big thanks to both Henry and Durrett. And here come the Eagles back from the timeout. We'll see what adjustments coaches Sanders and Mills were able to make for their Campobello Vikings. And here's Hansen. Gets it to McAloon. Back over. And McAloon now looking to drive in. Back to Sturgeon, who shoots another three. She just got one, but won't follow it up with a second. As Jackson has the ball. Has to get by El Zayat. Nice pick set there by Sophie Mitchell to get her teammates some space. Back to Jackson now. Calder, give and go, and Calder shoots a three. That'll rim out as ball goes through the legs of El Zayat. She has it now, though, and she'll start the rush for the Eagles. Looking up the left flank, finds McAloon, who goes in for a shot. Shylin Smart narrowly avoiding the foul. That would have been a bad one to take. So good disciplined play there by the grade 9 student, and now she gets into it, creating that jump ball. It'll be, I believe, the Eagles. Yep, it is McAloon going to put it in for the blue and white. Looking around for some help, has El Zayat right out, back to McAloon at the corner. McAloon dribbling around, looking inside for Hansen, who gets herself some space. No good, though. Cosman on the rebound, and the Vikings have it. Here's Calder. Back to Jackson. Jackson looking around to Calder. Calder now back to Jackson. Top of the circle. Jackson shoots for three, and it's good. That goes in clean. Just what the doctor ordered. You really need to see that. As Maya Jackson, grade 10 student, is getting going. Sturgeon's shot goes well over, and slip and fall there by Jackson. Just lost her footing. Might need to get the mop out. And Vikings take over. See the referee looking at that spot too. We might get a mop at the next stoppage and play as forced out of bounds, and get some substitutions. Dobson and Kegney checking back into the game. It'll be McAloon and Hansen grabbing a break.
Impressive rush there by McAloon. As she was basically able to force her out of bounds. She forced her to pick up that ball and keep on going. Her foot was out of bounds, and the ball basically was entirely.
Yeah, she's very strong defensively. FCA pretty good at sealing edges like that. As Sturgeon's shot falls short, Vikings will take over. As timeout called by FCA this time. So we'll take advantage of this to again give you a score update. There's a timeout as well up in Grand Falls. Lakers are ahead now 39-31. They've been put into bonus with 4:53 left to play in the quarter. The FCA Eagles, the senior boys, have already committed 5 fouls. So we're just watching that game on a parent's live stream. Big thanks to Lori McElwain or Darren McElwain. Not 100% sure which one of them is doing the actual streaming, but we thank both of them for their commitment to letting the Lakers fans see the game. And the Eagles fans, I guess you get it a little by proxy. We'll keep you updated as that game goes on, as I'm sure it's of interest to lots of our viewers. Just a reminder that there is a game following this one as well, and it's a big one. Lakers versus the Southern Victoria Vikings. That is a rematch of last year's championship game at Harbor Station. You're going to want to stick around to watch it. The right to host the SouthWest Sectionals is on the line. And here come the Vikings now. It is Shylin Smart putting the ball in. Has Jackson. Calder getting things started. As we hear the Campobello parents getting a cheer going. Both teams, sizable contingent of fans here. Calder circling around looking for Smart inside, but it's knocked away. Shylin Smart still has it though. Don't know how she came away with that, but then the pass just over the hands of Jackson. The basketball gods giveth and they taketh away, as Smart able to recover that fumbled ball really nicely, but then the pass just over the hands of her teammate. So the Eagles will get possession here. El Zayat over to Dobson, back outside to McAloon. McAloon looking to drive in. She shoots from mid-range and it's good. Good work by McAloon. As Eagles really balancing their scoring. Jackson stuck. Has to go high to Calder. Calder comes away with it, but we got a whistle. And that's going to be a foul. Sounds like it's against an FCA player. It is indeed first foul for Riley Dobson on the board. Grade 9 player wearing number 3. One of the smallest players, but also one of the most active. Really good ball handler.
Super fast, too. She was able to... Let me see. She was able to get a few points.
She had an impact in one of those games.
I'm not sure where the other sheet is, but she definitely did have a lot of points against... I think it was against Graham and Ann, but...
Yeah, she has an impact because she's such a good ball handler. She fights through picks, and she's able to squeeze through some defensive plays sometimes.
Her and Macklin really had some chemistry there where they were able to pass it back and forth between the two of them, so that was good to see.
Nice high shot from Lauren Sturgeon goes in. Puts her at 17. Just one off the scoring lead for tonight. The leader is Eden Searles. She's sitting on the bench right now, and she's got 4 fouls. And Bree Williams also there with 3 fouls. Marissa Calder with 3 fouls for the Vikings. So no matter who they send out there, there's going to be at least one player who's kind of flirting with disaster in the foul area. Here's Jackson shooting for 3, and it's good. Another 3-point shot for Maya Jackson. And that's exactly what the Vikings need if they're going to get back into this thing. Looking to respond. McAloon stood up, and now here's Calder the other way. Calder shoots, and we're going to get a foul called. And looks like it's number 5 or 15 possibly. I don't think McGuigan's out there. Yeah, it is indeed 1-5. So that's the second foul for Nikki Kegney. Third foul of the quarter for the Eagles. Sends Calder to the line. She's 1 for 2, now 1 for 3. So roughly 50% as a team are the Vikings. Second shot up, that bounces out, but rebound comes to Shylin Smart. She's got a couple girls on her, and now it's a jump ball. And Sturgeon reaching down to help her up. Shylin says no thank you, so might be a bit of friction between these squads. Here's Mac, check that Dobson looking around, driving in, passes down to Kegney, but just a little too low. Definitely a bit of a height difference between those two teammates.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kegney might be one of the tallest players on the court, other than Laura Sturgeon's also pretty tall herself.
She doesn't look crazy tall from back here, but we have a weird angle. And here's Sophie Mitchell shooting for 2. That bounces out. Yeah, it can be hard to judge heights from our angle.
She's not one of the shorter players, though, that's for sure. No, that would have to be Dobson. Yeah. I think McAloon as well. They both also do their hair very similar, so I mix them up sometimes too.
If you don't see the number, it can be a little hard to read, but FCA, very clear numbers to read.
Thank goodness, yeah. That's good from a commentating standpoint.
Definitely. I'm sure the refs don't mind as well. That ball misfires. Kegney has it, but now it's gotten out, and Calder tried to keep it in. And I think we're getting a foul call here. There's a push, yeah, indeed. It may be going against Kegney. It is. That's her 3rd. So now Nikki Kegney potentially in a bit of foul trouble. As here's Calder bringing it up. Almost loses it, but gets it back. Decent shot off, has her own rebound. Outside to Jackson, who shoots. That's no good, but Calder on the rebound still won't go. And Vikings don't know how they didn't get a couple of points there, as FCA still leads by 9. Whistle here, not sure if there's a foul. Yeah, it is indeed a foul being called. I think that's number 13, Shylin Smart. Oh no, what, 14? Yep, there's a bit of a confusion there. Yep, Bree Williams doesn't know how she can get a foul from on the bench, and indeed that's the wrong number being put up. I think.
Pretty impressive.
Yep. I believe it'll be number 13. It is indeed number 13, Shylin Smart. 4th foul only for the Vikings. Sturgeon's first shot goes off, and White needs one more on the line. Bit of confusion. And finally, Maya Jackson steps up. It's going to be Sophie Mitchell and Shylin Smart looking to box out. Sturgeon's shot goes in, though. There's no need. She is 3 for 4 from the line so far. gets it back to a 10-point lead as we enter the final couple minutes of the third quarter. Here's Calder driving through. Really good at finding her lane is Marissa Calder. As that grade 12, you can tell she's got a lot of experience driving through, picking her lane. As McGuigan responds, younger player. And nice work there. Although no, guilty of the carry as she had to pull that ball too far up. And she will get called on that. Change of possession now. El Zayat will put the ball in. As Eagles starting to pull away, but of course that wild card, Eden Searle, sitting on the bench for the Vikings. A couple of three-point shots from her, and this could be a whole different game. So we'll hope to see her in the fourth quarter. Calder looking for a friend, but instead finds the hands of McAloon. McAloon goes up, and Calder reaching in. That's definitely going to be a foul. The fourth one on number 4. And this puts a couple of key Vikings in very dangerous territory. And it also puts the Eagles into bonus. So very bad news for fans of Campobello.
Yeah,
1:31
no.
left to play.
It's not looking good, and the amount that they do have fouls, I imagine we'll see another one, so we'll see some more shots.
Could very well be as McAloon puts that first one home. She's now 80% from the line. Really dangerous shooters from the foul line are some of these Eagles. Second shot rims out, and Shylin Smart has that rebound. Here's Calder now, still out there. Calder trying to spin around, can't quite make the drive, and now pass into traffic picked off. Lauren Sturgeon, just one girl to beat. She puts it up and draws the foul, so chance for the and one, and that's going to be Sophie Mitchell's potentially first, although she might be that mystery player. We'll wait for it to go on the board as timeout called, I believe, by Campobello. Yes, indeed, that is Sophie Mitchell's second, so the mystery is solved. It was her who got that first foul in the first quarter.
She was the one I was not expecting, too, also.
Yeah,
So
I'm not sure what that could have been.
No, I didn't see that one at all, so could have been right at the start. We do have a lot of fouls for not a lot of players on Campobello.
Yeah, this is...
Calder with 4, Mitchell with 2, Jackson with 1, Searles with 4, Shylin with 1, and Williams with 3. The only player that doesn't have any at all is Cosman. She plays a very clean game, actually.
Yeah, especially considering how tenacious she can get. Right?
Yeah.
Like she's always
diving
there.
In there
for balls. So impressive play by one of these grade 9 rookies.
Mm-hmm. We do see Kenye and Sturgeon, 2 really impressive players for FCA with 3 fouls. That can make you worry a little bit too.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how this plays out, as definitely a couple of key players. Now, FCA does have a much larger bench. They're able to roll into it, and as we come out of the timeout here, we'll give you a quick update from Grand Falls at the end of the third quarter in the senior boys single A Southwest Regional Game 5. The Lakers have the slimmest of leads, 47-46 against the FCA boys. Both teams going into bonus in that quarter, so fouls could be playing a role. We won't know what it is. We have a silent stream here that we're keeping an eye on, but we'll keep you updated on the score there as Sturgeon goes to the line. Good eye. Wow. Sturgeon good on the and one, so she's an 80% from the line as well. As Jackson, they will look to her, and we got a foul here. El Zayat taking a charge. Jackson called for that, and I think if I'm reading the motions from the referee right, I think she kind of swum around. Coach Sanders doesn't like it, but the call is the call. And that's almost stolen away by Cosman, but not quite, as we have a whistle. And let's wait to see this. Timeout by Campobello. And might just be a bit of time for the ref to cool off here. Oh, no, I think that T might be for a technical, I'm not sure. Because Macaloon's going to the line here. That's good for one. And she might get a couple more now, as Coach Sanders was not happy with those calls. Oh, thank you, GG, with a bit of information. FCA did have girls teams last year. They failed to make the playoffs, finishing fourth behind Southern Vic, John Caldwell, and Heartland. So I guess the Lakers just either we forgot the game or they didn't arrange to play here, but we didn't see them. So thank you for that information from the live chat. Ball goes up, and that's no good from Macaloon as Campobello takes over. Here's Jackson leading the charge. She's looking around. Gets a pick set by Shylin Smart over to Cosman. And almost stolen away, but Cosman still has it from her knees to Bree Williams. Over to Shylin Smart. Back to Jackson. She'll shoot for three. And that's just out. But some of these Campobello players are going to have to get more confident about their shooting because right now it's really only Jackson who's willing to take shots. Shylin Smart will do it from time to time. Mitchell in the right position, but that's going to be trouble if Campobello isn't. All those players aren't willing to take shots. As Shylin Smart, holding her knee, went down a little hard and gets off with help. She's limping over to the bench, and this is not great news for the Vikings. It's exactly what you worry about with a short bench, kind of indicating the lower leg. We're going to see Searles check back into the game. She has 4 fouls, so we'll have to be real careful with how things go. Only 15 seconds left in this quarter, so I don't imagine we'll see anything too intense. Hopefully no fouls in these 10 seconds or so. Jackson now has a 3-point shot, and that bounces out. Has the rebound. Back to Searles. Searles shoots for 3, but that's just short. So FCA really pulling away. At the end of 3, the score is 39-56. So FCA really doing some damage there. They held the Islanders to only 6 points. Big part of that is Searles not playing in the quarter. And yeah, this will be a tough one for the Vikings to overcome. Not impossible, but they're definitely in a tough spot with potential injury there to Shylin Smart. I think we saw Violet McDonald going to get some ice. As we remind you, the winner of this game will be the 3rd and final seed in SouthWest Sectionals. The loser does have their season end, so this is it. All the marbles on the line for these two teams. As far as we know, they did not meet in the regular season in exhibition matches or in tournaments, or if they did, that information is not on the NBIAA website. Of course, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just means that the record keeping isn't quite where we'd like it to be. Unfortunately, that's the case for some of the other things going on, as we're trying to keep an eye on the Northeast regionals as well, but no scores have been updated. Can't find it on any NBIAA websites or social media accounts. So all we know is that the 6 teams there were Dalhousie, Minto, Petitcodiac, North and South Esk, Central New Brunswick Academy, the hosts, and Caledonia. So one of those 6 schools will be hosting the Northeast Sectionals next weekend. One of those teams will be crossing over to the Southwest to play the winner of this matchup. And a 3rd team will be waiting for the loser of the 6 p.m. game between Harvey and Southern Victoria. Over in Grand Falls, it's a very close game. 7:54 left in the 3rd, and FCA trails the Lakers by a score of 48-50. So we'll try to keep you updated there as that game goes on as well. I'm sure we've got some fans of both squads. And here we go. As we're coming back from the 4th quarter, we'll just shout out our sponsors. Big thanks to Scott Pierce at Remax East Coast Elite Realty and the Little Village Vacation Resort for Dogs. Our sponsors help us to grow the broadcast, improve the viewing experience, and they allow us to make purchases of some of this new equipment you see, like the net cameras that Kevin Sheffers-Roy is letting you see from time to time. Here's Macaloon bringing the ball over. Coach Sanders reminding our girls, clean game. So far, so good. Campobello will get it. And we do see Searles, Williams, and Calder back on the court. So with the season on the line, Coach Sanders is just letting the girls play. So we hope we get to see them for the entire 10 minutes. Here's Jackson shooting from mid-range. That's no good, as McGuigan takes that over. She's stuck at the line with a couple of white jerseys, but manages to get the ball away. Back to McAloon, out to Sturgeon in the corner. Sturgeon shoots for three. That rims out. And it's Calder leading the charge now. Got a couple of girls to beat, but it's stolen. We got a jump ball called. No foul. And it will be FCA's turn to take this over. Sturgeon passing into McAloon. And whistle now. Not sure what this is. Might be an issue with the scoreboard or oh yeah, I think I see our minor officials checking in with some things up on the scoreboard, so
yeah,
must have been an issue. Good thing the ref caught it there. We don't have our officials' names, but big thanks to both of them for calling the game. As you may know, our province is in a bit of an official shortage right now, so we thank all those former athletes and just interested individuals who give back to the game by officiating. The games couldn't happen without them, so we really do respect and appreciate it. Mitchell caught in a tough spot between some defenders, can't quite get the ball out, and so the Eagles will take it over. Here's Sturgeon in the corner again, inside to Hansen all alone. Alyssa Hansen somehow snuck behind the defenses, and she's able to get two. Now here's Eden Searles looking to respond. Searles puts up two, draws the block from Sturgeon, and that'll be Sturgeon's fourth foul. So that puts one of the Eagles in a tough foul spot as well. And it'll send Eden Searles to the line. She's a perfect 2 for 2. As we'll take the break in action to update you from Grand Falls. Lakers up 54-48 with 6:44 left to go in the fourth. Both teams with one foul apiece. Searles' first shot falls out. Gets ready for her second. McGuigan and Sturgeon getting ready to box out. And that goes off the head of Sturgeon, but goes to a friendly jersey, so she can't be too upset about it. McAloon to McFarland, who's checked into the game. McFarland in grade 9. Pass over to her fellow rookie. And it's Alyssa Hansen with another two from right under the net. And Eagles humming here in the fourth quarter. Calder with a nice drive and jump through. Puts her at double digits for the night. Or I guess she already was. She's at 12 now if you count that one foul shot. Here's Sturgeon. Fakes the shot. Goes in. Puts a Viking on the ground with that move around her. Nice move by Sturgeon, as we'll get some substitutions. El Zayat checking into the game. We'll give Lauren Sturgeon a bit of a break and protect that important player with 4 fouls. One of the luxury of Mo Perez's squad, where he's got so many subs. Here's Mitchell now, stopping and shooting, but guilty of the travel, so it didn't go, but it wouldn't have counted either way. And Eagles will take over. Here's McAloon bringing the ball up. Over to El Zayat, back to McAloon. McAloon shooting the 3. That bounces around. McGuigan on the rebound, no good, gets her own rebound, and finally that goes in, and you can tell the Vikings really hesitant on those rebounds, as no one wants to take a foul right now. But it's let the Eagles grab this major lead here in the fourth. Here's McAloon bringing the ball up and over. Has McFarland back to McAloon. Inside to, number 1, Alyssa Hansen, and ball rolling around. Eden Searles diving to try to keep that alive, and it looks like it was not in vain. Vikings do have possession here.
She was able to hit it off of, I believe it was McAloon right at the last minute, so she fell down with the ball, and it went out off of her.
Savvy play from the veteran there to keep possession, as El Zayat went down a little hard, but gets up on her own power, which, of course, you want to see. We got Maddie Cosman checking. Oh, and no, that is a foul called, and that'll be the 5th on Marissa Calder. So that's very bad news for the Vikings. Maddie Cosman getting ready to go into the game, and they should be getting a timeout here. Sanders going over things with the refs.
They're going to want to play things super safe now because they don't want Searles to go out. Also, when there's still about 7 minutes left.
Yeah, still lots of time to play, and Shylin Smart still looks to be icing an ankle, so this really is it. 5 players.
I don't know what they're going to have to do if they...
Yeah, if they were to get one fouled, I'm not sure. You might just have to play a player down. I've never actually seen that happen.
Maybe, because they could play Searles, but, I mean, no. They could not play Searles if she was fouled out. I meant to say they could play Smart, but I don't know how well she
injured.
is.
Yeah, I'm not sure how serious this is. She
has ice on
pack,
it, yeah.
She hasn't changed or taken off her shoes, so it might be something that she can recover from. And Calder played a great game, played a great tournament, really, but she's going to have to cheer on her squad from the bench and cross her fingers now.
I kind of saw this one coming, actually. She's been so close to getting fouled out so many times, and it's terrible to see, but that's just what happens sometimes.
It's unfortunate. As nice pass, looking inside for Hansen, but she's not quite ready for it. Mitchell getting in there and almost caused a jump ball, but Hansen tried to play that from the ground, and that is a travel. So Vikings lucky to get away with one, and it'll be Maya Jackson, who I think the Vikings are going to look for as their primary ball handler now. Jackson dribbling around, finds Searles. Searles now turns and shoots. That's no good, and Cosman diving out for it, can't get there. El Zayat has it for the Eagles. Here's Dobson, back to El Zayat. Looking inside for Hansen. Hansen, back to El Zayat, swung out to McAloon. McAloon needs to shoot, but it's blocked by Searles. Great use of her height, but good spring back, and it's stolen away. Nice work by McAloon, not giving up on that ball. Caught the Vikings sleeping on that one. Hansen out to Dobson. Dobson shooting, I don't know if that was a long 3 or a 2. And we got a jump ball now. Searles just shooting out of habit. And still trailing with 5:39 left to go. And Eagles starting to pull away with this thing. Vikings' hopes are not gone, but they are getting slimmer as that clock ticks down. And Mitchell and McAloon dusting it up for a jump ball, as we're going to see Nikki Kegney check back into the game.
McAloon is a genuinely genius player. She knew that would be their jump ball. That's why she went for it.
Yeah, smart play. Here she is bringing the ball up. Gets it over to Dobson, inside to Kegney. Bouncing around to McGuigan, who came in. That's no good, but Kegney almost had the rebound. Searles also fighting for it. Not sure if that call is a jump ball or just out of bounds. But, yeah, we'll wait for the call here. It is indeed FCA taking it, as girls kind of figure out their positions and responsibilities on defense. McGuigan has it. El Zayat now getting past the first defender, but again, Searles with a big block. Really nice to see. Here's Bree Williams. Back over to Jackson. Jackson stuck at the top and almost stolen by McAloon. She's dangerous there, but a little too aggressive. I think she's getting called on the foul here. She is indeed. Should be the second against Mel. Maybe just the first. I might have miscounted one earlier. So first foul for McAloon this quarter. Pretty impressive for a player who's got so many minutes. And such an aggressive player, too. Searles elects to shoot 3. That falls short, but Cosman has the rebound. Maddie Cosman getting on the board. She's the 5th Viking player to score. As El Zayat sends it over to McAloon. Over to Dobson. Dobson elects to pass back to McAloon. Eagles eating up a good chunk of the clock here. Dobson shoots for 3, and it's good. 3 for number 3. Riley Dobson's on the board, and she is the 7th FCA player to record points. That pass picked off now. Here's McAloon. Good patience, but that goes just too high. And that'll hit the rigging. Dead ball. Here is Jackson now. Got a few players to beat. Looks kind of like a modified zone here from FCA. Is coming in hot was Kegne behind, and that jars the ball loose from Mitchell. FCA still has it. McAloon, good patience over to El Zayat. Looking inside for Kegne. Kegne turns, passes to McGuigan. McGuigan just corrals that and gets a couple shots off. The second is good. And McGuigan with a fair number of points. She's at 19. Might be, tied, I believe, with Sturgeon for the leading scorer for both FCA and the game. Mitchell dribbling around, looking inside to Williams. Over to Jackson. Jackson shooting, that falls short. Although McAloon keeps it alive, and now here's Riley Dobson. Mitchell hustling back on defense. Jackson also staying with her. Dobson lets her teammates catch up. McAloon over to Kegne. That goes off her hands, but El Zayat is there. El Zayat turning and shooting, and that goes just over the net. And here's Eden Searles. Jackson trying to get by the defense. Nice zone, but finds Bree Williams. Williams stuck with a couple of defenders, getting it over to Mitchell now. Mitchell to Jackson, back to Williams. Williams swinging out to Cosman, to Searles, who drives in, and she scores a couple from the paint. She is now the leading scorer of either team with 20 points on the evening. El Zayat inside to McGuigan now. Back to McAloon. Swung out to Dobson. Dobson to McAloon. El Zayat inside to McGuigan. They're really eating up the clock here as El Zayat back to McAloon, and that shot, it does reset the clock. Kegne on the rebound will attempt to put it in, but it's no good as Williams has it, gets it over to Mitchell. And I think this strategy is going to pay off for the Eagles as with 2:15 left to play and over 20 points to overcome. One of their best players fouled out on the bench, and only 5 available right now for the Vikings. It will take a miracle. Eden Searles looking for 3, and that's no good as I think Coach Perez thinking the same thing. He's going to do a full lineup swap, get some of the subs in who haven't seen any time yet. And I think that's kind of an admission by both coaches. I think they know how this game is going to end, though of course you will see both teams play it out. Last game of the season for Campobello in all likelihood. As here's McFarland, she's seen some time. Gets it over to number 12, Rebecca McNaughton. To Jana McGuigan, wearing number 7. Got a couple of grade 9 McGuigan girls. I got to imagine they're related somehow. Here's McFarland looking inside to Haley Hansen, but that ball off the attacker. Bree Williams will put it in.
Even if they can't get up by a bunch more points with this lineup, they can still hit it out of bounds and eat up the time on their side.
Here's Williams. Misplays it though, and McFarland has it taking over. Here's McFarland over to McNaughton, and that's poked away by Jackson, but it's tipped, so Eagles maintain possession. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. It goes out of bounds, and it's a real barn burner over in Grand Falls. I believe that FCA is up 66-65 with 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So that's an exciting matchup for the senior boys. Here it's a little less close as Jana McGuigan gets that ball, passes into the face of Haley Hansen. But they have possession. Here's Ella Drost bringing the ball over. Drost to Haley Hansen, and we got a jump ball. .101 left to play now. As Bree Williams will put the ball in. See where this goes. Mitchell to Cosman, looking inside for Searles, who goes in all alone. That ball just falls short. Got 3 blue jerseys around her. Somehow manages to get out, and that bounces around, just falls out. Really tough break for Searles there as we got some reaching in, and Maddie Cosman guilty of a foul here, although could have called one a little earlier, I would think. Let's see who that goes against. It is indeed Maddie Cosman's first. And looks like Charlie Gregory going to the line over in Grand Falls. His team still trailing 29 seconds. So we're kind of calling two games here. Charlie's first shot bounces out. And here's Jackson back in the David McMullen Gymnasium. Jackson over to Searles. Searles turns and shoots from the foul line. That's no good. Gonna almost bounce out, but Olivia Young stepped out of bounds. And it'll be Searles putting the ball in. Searles gets to the corner. Shoots a three, it's no good, and looks like Jana McGuigan has the rebound. Here's Ella Drost bringing the ball up. Drost, that's batted away. And gets over to Maddie Cosman, who comes away with it. Cosman could be the last drive of the season here as Searles back to Jackson. Looking inside to Cosman, who shoots. Rebound Sophie Mitchell, it's no good. Cosman still has it, just a few seconds. Over to Jackson. Jackson dribbling around, can't get a shot off, and with that, the FCA Eagles have advanced to the 3 seed in the Southwest Sectionals. Next weekend, they will play Friday night, either here or in Southern Victoria. They await the results of the game at 6 p.m. And for Campobello, a really tough break. They are out. Their season coming to an end here as they put forth a valiant effort, had 3 good games here in the David McMullen Gymnasium, but just can't seal the deal as time ticks out over in Grand Falls as well. Lakers still down by 1, only 10 seconds left, and it looks like they've put the Eagles into bonus. And we'll keep calling this game for you. It looks like number 8, Mateo Onana, going to the line for the Eagles. He should get 2 here. First shot up, and it's good. So that will put the Eagles with a 2-point lead. We're calling the game from John Caldwell now, as we know we got some Eagles and Lakers fans listening. Second shot from Onana goes up. That's no good. Lakers still have it. They could get something going here. Here's Charlie Gregory driving through, and Babick almost got that, but Joe Gregory has it to Onana, and we got a foul called. I think there's been lots of fouls here, and it looks like they're going back to the Lakers' end, so I think with 2 seconds left, this may be the end of the Lakers' season. Lorenzo Onana going to the line again. Yeah, third foul. Looks like for Charlie Gregory, 7th of the quarter, as we mentioned in the third quarter. Both teams had gone to bonus, so it was a foul-filled game, and I think we'll wait for the official call, but unfortunately, I think the Lakers senior boys season is over. The senior girls, however, still have lots to play for. They will take on Southern Victoria here in the David McMullen Gymnasium in just 23 minutes, and the winner of that game will host the Southwest Sectionals. Big thanks one last time to everyone who worked here making the stream possible. Thanks to our 2 referees. We didn't catch their names, but big thanks to both of them. Ali Sirwa, Violet McDonald, Ella Durrett, and Holly Henry all worked the Don Fletcher minor officiating booth at one point or another. So big thanks to those minor officials. And up here in the booth we had Tony Kramer, Ashton Little, and Kevin Sheffers-Roy working behind the scenes. Big thanks to Cecilia Pauley on the mic as well.
Thanks to you as well.
Yeah, my pleasure, and we'll wait till that score in Grand Falls is official, just in case there are any Eagles fans still listening, and Lakers fans as well. But 2.1 seconds left. I'm fairly certain that Lakers may see the end of their season here. They've called a timeout, and they will get possession when they come back, so they could be going for a very quick 3. They do have a lot of dangerous 3-point shooters. Tyler Watson, Ryan McElwain, Joe Gregory has made some important 3s in his time, Charlie Gregory, so we'll have to see what happens. But FCA coming back out to the court. Big thanks to Lori or Darren McElwain, whichever one is streaming. And looks like it's Colby Cleghorn, Charlie Gregory, Colby Nicholson, Joe Gregory, and Tyler Watson all out there. So Lakers haven't lost any starters. Colby Nicholson will put the ball in. And they're really doing everything they can to make sure Lakers get the chance here. Tyler Watson helping to wipe down a bit of the area by the three-point line. Could be very important as Colby Nicholson awaits the ball. Looks like it'll be, I believe that's Mateo Onana wearing number 8 who will be guarding him. Lorenzo Onana on the court as well. As, yeah, Nicholson looking around. Time hasn't started yet. Here's Charlie Gregory. This shot could be it. It bounces out. I don't know why the clock didn't, oh no, there was a foul called. Clock never started. Not sure what's going on. We don't have sound here. Timeout called maybe? Icing the shooter? Yeah, I think there was a timeout called. I have no idea. Hard to tell here as we're crowded around. Yep, no seconds came off the clock at all, so that may have been FCA waiting to see what the Lakers were going to do. And if none of their starters have fouled out, those are all dangerous three-point shooters. So we'll have to see how this goes. Thanks for staying on if we've got fans of the Eagles. You see there's still a lot of viewers. Of course, always some people who forget to turn off the stream. But thanks for tuning in if you're still here, waiting to hear the results for the senior boys. As the Eagles and Lakers are playing for the last available berth in sectionals, in the men's sectionals at least. Eagles up 68-65 with 2.1 seconds left. Lakers are going to get the ball in, the defensive zone now. And nope, check that. It is the Eagles getting the ball. So something must have happened in those seconds. Not sure what, but something. As I can't quite read the number at that distance. Putting the ball in, but it's tipped away. Babick has it though, and he dribbles out. So that will be it for the Harvey Lakers. Senior boys, their season is over. Congratulations to the FCA Eagles. Both teams have now advanced to the number 3 seed in the SouthWest Sectionals. So both of those teams will play Friday night. As for the senior boys, their season is over, but the senior girls still have a game left to go. They will take the court in just a moment, and we'll be there to get you all the action. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.